They'd be calling their agent. They'd be asking for a trade. They'd be wanting out. They would be screaming to get out of that situation.
That's unbelievable, man.
So I don't think people even fully understand Amen Thompson. They like the Amen Thompson highlights. They don't understand Amen Thompson.
Hey everybody, welcome to Courtside. You know, when I decided to start this podcast, the whole concept was to give a fan's eye view of the NBA, right? To really show fans a full 360 degrees of what the NBA is about, which of course includes the players on the court, but really expands all over, right? So it's from the players to the coaches to the executives to the broadcasters to everybody behind the scenes, and to let the fans sort of get a feel and a vibe of all the people who go into making the NBA great. And the reality is, and as we're going to talk about with my guest in a minute, the reality is, if you're a fan of your team, you're probably seeing them most of all 40 times a year, 50 times a year, 60 times a year, 80 times a year by watching the broadcast. And you really come to know and love your team through the broadcast crew. And if you're lucky enough to have a good broadcast crew for your local team, you're in luck. And we're in a lot of luck here in Houston. I think we have the best crew in the league. I watched a lot of League Pass, so I watched some of the competition. They're all really good, but I'm not sure that you can do any better than Craig Ackerman, Vanessa Richardson, and our guest today, Ryan Hollins. Ryan, welcome, man.
Kind words, Mark. Appreciate that, man.
Well, they're all true, man. They're all true. And by the way, I don't know if anybody noticed, my kids are here, one of your kids are here, but the minute Ryan walked into the studio this morning, the whole aura in the place just freaking took off, man. There's like some aura maxing going on here or something, man.
Hey, I'll take it. Listen, that's high praise. And then, listen, we use that when something that's got to be really special. We throw that out there. All right.
Well, it was really special that you walked in. By the way, dude, I was just telling you off camera, I got 5 kids. They're in their teens and 20s. I try to say, I think I'm hip and cool. But like when you started talking aura maxing on TV, I had to call my daughter. I'm like, what the heck is he talking about, man?
Well, listen, it was new to me too. So we just kind of ran with it. I think I learned the word probably 24 hours prior to using it. And then we just had fun with it, and then ended up kind of being, for a moment, a bit of a national thing that we did it. So it was fun, and I think kind of grouping it with the men and the game, and then Bleacher picked it up, and a lot of people asking about it, so it was fun. But I think I was with you, when the kids understood a lot more. We're like, we don't know what it is, but we think it's something good going on.
It's super cool. I just said to my daughters, is it cool if I say, is that a good thing, Oramax? And they said, Ryan says it's cool, so it's cool. And between that and sharing the sugar, you're teaching me a whole new, a whole new language, man. And I've spoken to Craig and I've spoken to Vanessa, but what I said sort of in the intro is true. Like, when you grow up and you're a fan of a team, and I'd say particularly baseball and basketball, right? Because there are a lot of games. You watch these guys, these men and women, like I said, 80 times a year in basketball, maybe 160 in baseball. They sort of become like family to you, right? So between you and Craig and Vanessa, we really feel like you're our family, and you really sort of spread the joy of the game to us, and we appreciate that, man.
That means a lot, and that's what it is for me. It was a full commitment to becoming a Houstonian and moving here, and even more so, Mark, like you move your family to a new city, new place, like you're all in, bro. Like it ain't like, right, it ain't back and forth when you're moving for work. It's a full commitment, but this city's embraced me back, and it's like we spend, like within the NBA workplace, we spend so much time together. Like we spend so much time together. So I am blessed to work with good people. It's not always like that. The energy isn't off. It's always fun, and I think you can't fake it. Like, like on the broadcast, it is organic when we are speaking and laughing and joking. And again, I work with some amazing people at the Houston Rockets, but you can see it, and it's all encompassing towards what's going on the court and in the front office and management and everything. So it's really cool to be behind something you believe in.
Yep.
Because if we didn't really believe in it, like Mark, you'd be listening like, nah, they're not all in with this. But we got something to enjoy, and it is a fun process.
Yeah, like when I hear you and Craig and Vanessa giving you guys, a little bit of grief and you guys goofing on each other. It just sounds like three BFFs, who hung out that whole day and the day before and they're just goofing on each other like besties,
No, we do. We'll go out to eat. We'll hang. We have breakfast. It's like you're almost like when you're on the road, that's your family. That is. And like we're joking with Craig about bull riding or something, and you genuinely feel our personalities, and it's genuine, honestly who we are. And we try not to get too far off script, but we just have fun with what's going on, and again, it's all in light, and I think the biggest thing, like we have a lot of respect for each other and the work that goes on behind it, and then just kind of like life is really happening, as these games approach, going back and talking about my college ID or Vanessa and her runs and her fitness stuff and everything that comes across. So we enjoy it, man, and I think it's cool to just actually be a part of what's going on.
That's it. I told you offline, man. I'm going to take some adult ed classes because I want to get one of them .edus, and then I can get the. Craig wasn't buying it that you still had a .edu email, man.
Look, I got my Bruin card. I had all kind of stuff, man. So like I think that's really cool. And Waz in the truck, you don't see him, but he's as integral as the show as it comes. He's in our ear, literally telling us everything that goes on, leading us in this stuff. So, we have some, you don't hear it, but we have some laughs around it. I think it was his idea to show the card there. And, maybe we relate with the kids, maybe don't. Maybe more like our age, Mark, where people are laughing like, once upon a time I had that, man. I'll take a $10 ticket.
We didn't have email when I went to school, man. So I'm going to, I'm with Craig.
I got to poke at him a little bit, man. I got to poke at him a little bit. I set him up a bit on that one.
It's so funny, man. You guys go out. It's great. It's like brothers just goofing on each other, man. And like I said, obviously you bring the perspective, and I want to talk about it. You bring the perspective of a real X's and O's guys, right? A guy who played in the NBA for many years. But what I want to sort of shout out to you and I want to talk about a little bit is it's great to have the X's and O's, but it's really the joy that you bring, man. It is. In fact, I would say I don't know if you feel like you have a signature sort of call, but I know. To me, I know that when our men breaks loose on a fast break or Alpie does some ridiculous pass, you just burst out laughing, right? And it's not a laugh not laughing at a funny joke, but it's clearly a laugh of pure joy, right? And that's how we feel as fans. When I'm jumping around on the sideline, that's the same vibe we got. So I appreciate that. I mean, we could feel it from you.
Yeah, man, I don't know if I need to work on it or roll with it. Like, what's funny? They were showing like a Rocket segment of like the season highlights or something was going on, and like every clip you just hear me laughing. Like, it's a bit of a basketball culture thing in my mind, kind of like laughing like, oh my goodness, like he did, like, are you kidding me? Like this is a lot. Like, what did he just do? And it can shift the momentum of the game. And man, Mark, we've seen some like pretty incredible things happen from these guys that aren't common. So when they kind of break the mold of what's happening in the game, that laughter comes out and they're like, man, this is really happening right now. So look, I think me and Craig, it's funny, and I don't know how it comes across, like we may be almost too invested. Like we eat, sleep, and breathe like you, the game. And sometimes, the fandom in myself and Craig and Vanessa, it comes out like, and there have been moments we jump out our seat. We're just how like you're there and people catch you during the game. We do the same thing, and we have. We're all in with it, and again we try to, if anything, we're trying to temper, our emotions. Everybody sees you when you do it, you're caught red-handed, all right? So, every once in a while they'll see a clip of us doing the same.
Yeah, but then, I mean, all I could tell you as a fan, as a guy who listens and watches you all the time, is I love that joy that you bring. You could debate what the national TV guys should do, maybe on with two neutral teams, but you're the Rockets broadcast team, and just like Calvin lives and dies in the studio, with the team, we feel that you guys have the same sort of feeling about it,
No, man, I appreciate it. Again, we're trying to watch it, and but like you gotta think, man. Like we watch a lot of these kids grow up with the organization. We get to see some of the history with Clint Capella. Just saw James Harden the other night, and like you never forget some of these moments. And I think like you talked about, what I learned is it's the feelings, you know. It's not what you do for people, it's how you make them feel.
Right.
And those kids make a play or there's a game, I don't care what's going on in your life, you have a feeling, you have a good feeling. So for that, I'm appreciative, and those kids gave us moments. Like Jalen Green is always going to be a Rocket, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like for him, that's our kid, our guy.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's huge about the organization. Obviously, there's a business of basketball that goes on behind the scenes. Jabari, Reed, like we're watching them, and then we have these moments that can't be taken away from us. That these were their first and second years, and watching them grow and Alp develop into something, and even Kevin. Man, when I played against Kevin, that wasn't the same Kevin Durant. He was finding his way as a young guy in the league, and then you watch him take over, become MVP, all these things. But the Kevin Durant we're getting is very unique in this situation. He's more vocal about his leadership. He's a guy who cares. He's embraced our young guys fully. And for those who may not know, the last few summers, he's been bringing these guys in the gym with him. He's developed relationships with them already, and you see that he cares. So it's a unique and fun place to be a part of. And he didn't just come as, you know, player X gets thrown into this organization and go get your 30 and then go figure it out. He's like, nah, I'm in, and that commitment, being there, it speaks volumes, and it's fun to watch. And like I think, like you're saying, like there's things that we see that's not fake.
Right.
You could be anywhere else. You could be up in the suite. You could be behind. You're in it, and you're as much as it pays off as all of us playing a role. So it's fun to be a part of, man. It's special.
Yeah, well, we feel it, man. Like I said, if you see me jumping out of the seat at the game, it's probably the same exact thing that you're feeling when you let out that laugh. Like you said, it's just like, holy, what the heck did he just do? You know, a man caught it in the air and somehow did a reverse jam. He didn't even know the ball was coming. It's some crazy stuff that he does, huh?
It is. Amen Thompson's unique, man. And I give my hat off to Ime Udoka because he's not a traditional player. I remember his first couple games, you threw him out there as a second string point guard, and it just didn't work, with all due respect. And Ime is willing to get outside of the box, and he said, well, I'm going to play him underneath the defense. And then the guy guarding him has to play underneath the defense. And then in transition, I'm going to allow him to push and do certain things. And we watched Amen come into his own as one of the more unique athletes that we have ever seen play the game of basketball. I've never seen anything like him. The closest comp we get, and it kind of hit me, it's funny, we saw the Sacramento game about a week or so ago, and him and Westbrook were so uniquely tied together, and Amen kind of did a move, and Westbrook timed the move, and it was like, Amen was probably thinking, dang, this guy is similar to me, he kind of knows my deal. And I'm like, the closest thing we can say, he's like a 6'6", 6'7" Westbrook.
That's unbelievable.
Right? That's
unbelievable. That's an incredible comparison. One of the greatest to ever play the game. Still playing at a super high level for the Kings now, right?
Yeah, and I love Russ. That's like my little brother, man. People don't see the work that he put in behind the scenes, the way he's grinded and the way he goes about doing things the right way. Maybe it's not everybody else's cup of tea, but he does things the right way. And if you play with Russ, you appreciate him. But for men, it's really the sky's the ceiling, because we talk about kind of breaking the rules or breaking the mold. He does that, and it's a way. It's very hard to scout and game plan for him, man.
Right. And
the way that he kind of plays off Alp and plays off his teammates, how selfless he is. The kid doesn't care about anything but basketball. Like, he's different. Like 18, 19. I don't know where we were in our lives, but this
not
guy,
there.
right?
I wasn't locked in like that.
This kid, he's locked in, man, and he just is, and comes from an unbelievable family, and like. You see it on the court. And I thought about something about a year or so ago too with Amen, and this is unique, and I don't know, maybe there's studies, you can dive into it, but like, as a twin, from the beginning of time, he shared everything. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, we got siblings,
right,
or you got cousins or something, you share with your cousins, right? But a twin is different, because you know there's a hierarchy. This is my older, younger sibling, right? This dude had somebody the same age, and they had to share everything.
That's wild.
So he has this feeling of selflessness, and you can see it on the court. You can see it when he wants to win. You can see it in the space, but I don't know. We'd have to do some other research. But if you think about, like, from day one, Mark, if you had to share everything you've ever had and then you embrace that, right? That is a team first player. That is a guy that wants to win. That's an X factor. That's, big factors. And sometimes it'll go like that. Sometimes, one twin go left, one twin go right. For these dudes to be like the third and fourth pick was it's mind blowing. The Thompson twins are different, and everyone that you speak about in the basketball communities behind the scenes, you see them, you're like, yeah, they're different.
Yeah, and when you see them together, you see that dynamic between them. I like we should do a science experiment. There are actually a bunch of twins in the league, right? There's the Murray twins and the Champagne twins, and there's a bunch of them, like the Lopez twins. I don't know if Robin's playing anymore, but there's a lot of them, so there's probably something to that, man. I saw last year when the Lakers came to town, I saw J.J. Redick in his press conference after the game, and they asked him about our men. He said, "Listen," he said, if you're in the NBA, you're in the 1% of athletes, in the world. He said, "Amen's in the 1% of the 1%." It's just he's a unique guy that we haven't seen. And like you said, to compare him to a guy like Russ, I'm not really sure how there could be much higher praise. And he's still early in his career, right? Amen's still got a long way to go.
Yeah, in a bigger version, and I think what I like to highlight with people with him is, like, sometimes there's athletes that dunk, right? You're like, I had a big dunk, he's athletic. Like, he's always athletic, right? Like, he's always athletic. It's a loose ball, 3 people around, he jumps. Like, I saw him, bro, Mark, he went in for a rebound and the defender was there boxing out, and I swear, he jumped around the guy and grabbed the ball.
I think I know the play you're talking about.
It's not going to always catch the eye, but it's unique. So when you talk about, like, being athletic, what plays are you making? Like, how are you getting through windows, I played with Blake Griffin. I remember talking with Blake, and Blake before practice he'd come in, he had his trainer, he'd have these, like, bands on and this core stuff, and like literally 45 minutes to an hour before practice, and then he gets to before practice, and we work before practice, and new treatment and stuff. So Blake would, like, work in these awkward positions. He would work in these awkward positions, balancing and doing stuff like that. And he said, like, if you see it, like, if you think of Blake Griffin in his prime when he'd get a dunk, he might run down, the pass is going out of bounds, he had to tip the ball back to the court tightrope, and then he gets to his launch pad.
Unbelievable.
So some athletes have a launch pad, but they don't have the stuff to get to it. So when I watch him in Thompson, similarly, you see the little work, watch the little work before he gets to his launch pad, before he's hanging in the air, before things go. Look, forget the finish, look at the pass. Like, Alperen threw him a lob earlier in the season, and he's up jumping for the lob. And the lob's behind him. Remember, he reversed it. He didn't want to reverse it. He had to, because he's going, and now he throws it, and he ends up having to do that. So, like, there's just levels to it. There's levels to it. And for the kids watching or listening, like, think about the little work before you get to your spot, before you get to that big finish.
It's unbelievable. He also seems to have, like, sometimes when he dunks, like, he jumps and it just seems like he sort of has like a second, like, lift off in the air. Like, he's got a little jetpack that takes him even higher. It's unbelievable.
No, he is, and we see it a lot. We see it a lot. And what was scary, the scariest thing about Amen Thompson, there's a whole nother ceiling that he can go to.
Wow.
He still is improving on the ball, and we've seen it. And then obviously, like, his shot, like, we see it go in. You see the work he's doing with Ben Sullivan, the touch shots, the focus, the mental mindset, the confidence going into these shots. Like, so there's a whole nother level to it. And like, bro, he's so driven. Like, you see certain guys that may take a shot that don't work out. He's like, I'm not taking that shot no more. Like, he's smart enough to calculate, this is what I'm good at, and this is what I'm going to do. Versus, now I'm going to experiment a little bit. This is something I'm going to develop into. And the understanding of self, you don't see in young guys or committed. I'll give you this too. How many top 5 picks, if they were told, you're not going to take a shot, you're going to sit underneath the defense, you're going to play, you're going to be a great defender, right? You're going to play defense, and then you're going to rebound the basketball. That played the point guard position as a top 5 pick, as a lottery pick, would have said, okay, coach, I'm going to be great at that. I'll do that. and not just great, excel.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. A lot of guys would have sourpusses if they heard about that.
No, they'd be calling their agent. They'd be asking for a trade. They'd be wanting out. They would be screaming to get out of that situation.
That's unbelievable, man.
So I don't think people even fully understand Amen Thompson. They like the Amen Thompson highlights. They don't understand Amen Thompson.
It's incredible. And you've mentioned him a bunch of times now, and he sort of corresponds with how long you've been with the Rockets, right? So Alp, right? The incredible development. Talk about, you know, when he first got here to who he is now. It's unbelievable the player that he's become, you know.
He's unique. He's got the European footwork with a flair of the States. And I say it to say, like, he knows he's the show. Right. He knows he's embraced that. And that's who he is. And sometimes you get in the gym, it's called basketball creativity, right? So within a workout, you know, we could just go spot shots, we could get to the corner, we could shoot free throws per se, we could set a pick and roll. Basketball creativity is, I'm visualizing myself in this situation, this is the footwork of the work that I'm going to. Right. His basketball creativity is a 10 of 10. And he's uniquely taken that to bend the game of basketball, because he also, what's unique about Houston, he makes plays you can't quite quantify. And traditionally when we play, you are a north to south roller. Right. Why? That puts pressure on the defense. The weak side has to tag. That's tough. You throw the ball in the air, the guy gets alive, it creates good action for the guards. Or you're a popper, right? A lot of the league wants to see a three-point shooting. Alperen Şengün was neither.
Wow.
He could shoot threes, but he was hesitant. He wasn't always big on the threes. He's very athletic, but he went spinning lob like Clint Capella trying to get those plays. I mean, those are great game-winning plays. He's a short roller. Short rollers were abandoned in the game of basketball, and some could see as a bad play because you can allow it's a tight space. You allow the defense to recover. Ime came in and said, "I'm going to embrace what you do. You're a short roller, and I'm going to let you get it. Why? You don't want your big guy making moves in traffic. People can help. It's a blind turn. The help can be there. You don't want that normally." Right. Ime said, "Short roll." Wow. What you do? And then he shoots mid-range shots, which you're told, don't shoot those.
Right, right. Shoot a three or a dunk.
Mid-range contested shots.
Right.
He has been able to change and tweak the game of basketball with his creativity, with Ime embracing that space. And then he went out this summer, put that Turkish jersey on, that Superman cape, and went pound for pound with Jokic and Giannis, two of the greatest that we'll ever see do it. And he's come in with this different mindset and belief in the flair, the aura. That's as we say. I guess that's how we're trying to describe aura, right? Right on. And Alpe's unique, man, but it's the confidence level. Yep. For me, and him coming in confident, and now that basketball creativity of scenarios he's gone through, got to scan what the NBA looks like. You're seeing him pick apart some of the world's. You're seeing him pick apart some of the world's best. And
how about that move at the end on Giannis a couple of weeks ago, right, where he deked him and spun. I mean, Giannis could play a little bit of defense now.
A lot of guys get downhill. Former defensive player of the year. A lot of guys get downhill and it's a floater, it's a layup. Right. He went to a second. I've never, as long as I live, guys, I've never seen someone get downhill, spin off the help again a second time. Those moves don't go well. You fall on your butt. Like, they don't go well. And the way he hit Turner, who's one of the league's elite shot blockers, hit him and spun off, it looked like elementary. It was crazy. So he's made some plays. Think about Clipper game. He threw the ball behind his head, Mark. He genuinely was driving
that crazy
and threw the ball behind his head and it went in. So to say the least, he's a unique talent. I've never seen anything like it. You know, I compare him to Marc Gasol a little bit because he's got the footwork, he's physical, he can make plays. Scola work from the mid post, he has a little float, he can do the stupid. That same with his right, he can do the same with his left.
That's the other thing, by the way, he'll spin a turn with either hand. I mean, legit shoot little hook shots with righty lefty. Other guys you see do it, and you could tell it's a weak hand for them. With him, he'll legit go with his left or his right.
And it's the European footwork. Those things are drilled upon you as a player, and that's where we talk about the fundamentals. But he's unique, and I'm trying to think. Mark, you want to give him someone with great footwork in both hands. Powell had that, but Powell didn't have wiggle. He's got wiggle, so that's where I say the game of the states. He picks it out. He's like, I can do what you do. He went in and out cross to shift his man and get downhill to the left hand. Like that's a different, as we say, bag. Right?
Yeah, and by the way,
bag.
Let's not forget that he's 23, right? He's a kid. And I will tell you the confidence thing because I watched some of that Euro tournament. He just ripped it apart. I mean, if Germany had not won it and Dennis Schroeder won the MVP, I mean, Alpi was the MVP, but for the fact that Schroeder played great and they won. But you could see when he came here that his confidence was through the roof. And I'll tell you another thing to sort of tie back to something you said earlier. You see that Alpi feels that this is his team, right? And you can see that KD, allows him to sort of have that, sort of allow him to be the man and deferring to him, which is pretty incredible, right? KD, one of the greatest to ever do it. You could see it, you could feel it on the court when they're playing together. You could see when they're talking to each other that KD knows that he's going to let Alpi be the man and to shine. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, KD embraces it. I'm torn. Craig made this statement the other day. I'm torn. I think it's both their teams because when you need it, sometimes it's Kevin's, and Alpi just is unique, and Alpi loves to pass and make plays. What I could look for is similar. The situation I can see, and I remember playing against LeBron in D-Wade, and for a while when LeBron and Wade were together to finish, and we would scout those guys and had them in the playoffs, it was Wade finishing games.
Really?
LeBron was great. He didn't know how to finish like that. And Wade was the guy. They'd go mid-pick and roll. They'd go ISO at the top of the key to say, close this game out, get us good looks, bring us home. And there was a passing the torch where Wade kind of looks over and is like, you got to bring us home, LeBron.
Wow.
We're putting the ball in your hands, LeBron. Like, this is your team, and gave that confidence to LeBron and trust. Like, hey, when these moments are here, as an organization, as a team, as the guys who put in the work in the locker room did that, and I'm intrigued to see if Kevin truly gives that to Alp. And obviously the season is good because we see these moments building, but how in the playoffs, how this is going to look, and him just kind of handing that torch to him, but also there's teaching like LeBron learned in Miami. He got around those guys and he learned, and there are things that he's going to learn from KD that Ime not going to be able to teach him.
Wow.
That like some other players, they can't teach him. Like you can't teach it. So I'll give you for example, when I went to the Clippers, right? You had Blake Griffin. He was a young budding star in the league, man. I wasn't going to teach Blake Griffin nothing.
Right.
And I was a little older. I'm not going to teach him anything other than getting to work on time, being a professional, and playing hard.
Right.
But getting to a megastar status, I can't teach that. There was nothing as a professional I could give. I played in SAC with Boogie Cousins. There wasn't much I was going to teach Boogie Cousins about how to be an all-star or how to go from 30 points to, Kevin Durant's a guy that's going to teaching him, this is what confidence looks like. This is what closing looks like. This is efficiency. This is teamwork. These are the things that are coming about. So, we talked earlier, there's levels to this. So he's giving him the kind of the rule book on how this looks, and it's exciting because you get to pass the torch to a guy that steps in, and you got some of the Kobe Bryants that just kind of do it on their own, and they're obsessive and crazy and great in their own regard, and then for the rest of us that got to learn, and then that higher tier, Mark, that we kind of watch from a distance and admire, we're seeing there with Kevin kind of handing it down to Alp, and right behind Alp handing it to Jabari even more so, and handing it to the rest of the guys confidence-wise, and hopefully we see him soon. But Tari Eason is getting that with his shooting, and I believe, man, you get get in the gym with great shooters, you get better. I played with Dirk. I'm telling you, more than anybody, you would watch the ball. He didn't make shots. They torpedoed through the basket.
Nothing, touching nothing.
If this is the cylinder, like me and you are shooting, we're shooting over here, here. All right, that's a mate. His shots went in like that, and it was almost like you're guilty by association. Everybody on the team shot better because you're watching him. All right, this is what it looks like, Like, so, you're seeing KD, you're seeing these other guys going, oh, that's how you work. Okay, that's what it feels like. The brain learns by example, by feel. You're guilty by association. A lot of times. So our guys are getting guilty by 7.
That's a good guilt to have, man. So you've talked about a bunch of the guys that you played. Let's just talk about your journey a little bit, right? So grew up in LA, or in the LA area. Mm-hmm. You played at one of the most storied, college programs. We all know that. If anybody's listened to a game with Ryan, you know where he went to school. But playing at UCLA, I mean, that's really, I don't know if the young fans watching know, right? That's one of the most storied basketball programs in history. So how was that playing at UCLA, man?
Man, I'll be honest. It was a dream and a nightmare at the same time.
Okay.
To say a nightmare because it was tough, man. It was tough. I didn't come in as a 5-star recruit. My first year there, we lost. We set the record for losses. We lost like 10 straight games. Wow. We came in number 10 in the country. It wasn't all that's handed out to be. My coach was fired. I played for a coach who didn't embrace me as a player. He was bringing in his guys, so that was tough. But the dream is like you get to represent something bigger than yourself. One of the most storied colleges and experiences like you'll ever have. When you talk college basketball, you don't talk college without UCLA, and to come behind greatness, but you go from a man to a boy in that situation, man, and kind of, I went through the fire with it, and it's tough, man. It has tested me mentally, physically, emotionally, and I knew that after surviving that, I wasn't gonna be broken in any situation. So it was a unique time, man. But you go win, you go succeed. It comes at a cost.
It did. And when you got to the NBA, you started with the Bobcats, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you go from one of the most storied franchises to playing really for Michael Jordan and a young team. What was that experience like, man?
Man, I remember. So I was drafted 50th, right? We make it to the national championship. There was more question marks than answers. This guy's super athletic, 43.5-inch vertical.
High jumper?
High jump. Yep. High jump. 7 foot high jump, right. 7 foot and 3/4 high jump. My goal was to jump my height mark.
And you did.
And I did. I said, all right, give you a little short. Like when you go out there, you see these little guys, Mark, like your size, right? Yeah. And they're jumping 6'8", 6'10", and you're going, man, if this little guy can do it, I'm tall, I got to be able to do it. But uniquely, tall guys aren't good at high jump always. Maybe 6'7".
I've never seen a 7-foot high jumper, man.
And let alone triple jump. Right. I took third in the state in California and triple jump. So the guys aren't like me. But I was like, my mindset was like, I was stubborn, bro. I was like, if he could do it, I could do it. Now, maybe that was the wrong mentality.
It's the right mentality.
I should have had more appreciation for what was going on. But I was like, yo, if he can jump that, I'm gonna learn it, bro. I'm gonna figure it out. And I did. It was cool. But
and you did high jump in college too, or just in high school?
At UCLA.
That's unbelievable.
My first year.
That's unbelievable.
First year. I would encourage any young athletes to go high jump, triple jump, because I learned how to jump.
Really?
So what made me special as an athlete, I could fly, I could jump. But it got unlocked in track. If I didn't do track, I wouldn't have done it.
Wow.
So it taught me how to fly.
I mean, it's unbelievable, right? I mean, you have no control of the fact that you were born and grew to be 7 foot, but the jumping you're saying was really a learned skill that you learned to track.
I was athletic.
Right.
All right, let me give you for instance, right? When you go to dunk, right? Mark, I'm joking with you, right? But you can imagine this.
I've dunked on a Nerf basketball court, man. I know what it feels like, man. I squeezed that little ball and I've dunked it on the closet in my bedroom.
Okay,
man.
let's go. All right, Nerf hoop, right? For anybody, right? You go to dunk on your hoop, right? Nerf hoop, real hoop, whatever it is, right? You jump high enough to dunk the ball. You look at the rim, you're looking at the rim to go dunk, right? What's unique with track that you learn is in track when you run, you're not looking at the bar. You're looking to jump your full amount.
Wow.
Then you twist, then you tuck, then you dip, then you tuck.
Wow.
And you're blind.
Wow.
I had to learn this in a year.
Wow.
So you get what I'm saying? So now we're practicing full jumps, knee drive, full jumps, rather than when we're on a Nerf hook, we're just looking at the rim. You're just going high enough to
get your hand up there.
Just get your hand up there.
Okay.
So if you watch, like when I was younger in my career, I would jump, and it almost looked like I would keep going. Like I would be jumping and then like land way out of bounds.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you learn, you now train your body. So that's the difference between a ball player and then when you're doing track, you train your body. I'm flying through, now I'm finishing. So that was the difference. So that's why I say, not that some of these guys can't do it, they're crazy. And like some of the greatest dunkers, I think James White, I think he did like long jump.
Really?
It's crazy. You watch James White go from the free throw line, dude was skywalking.
He just take it off.
Because that's kind of the track. You're flying. You're running and you're flying rather than just
like the triple jump, right? The triple you take it off a couple times, right? And just completely flying through it. So you're not just
one phase big. Second phase big. Last one, boom. My second phase was horrible. I probably would have fit. I would have been a unique dude if I stayed with track. No jive.
Right.
I probably would have been a guy who could have went to the Olympics in triple jump and high jump.
Wow. And is it because you were playing hoops and you were focused on something else? So it sounds like you only did track and field 1 year at UCLA. Right?
I did it in high school and I did it 1 year in UCLA. Well, I just had a unique body type. Like my dad, rest his soul, was a freak athlete, but he's 6'4". So I got his athleticism at 7 feet.
Wow.
So I was just unique in this sense. You see, I've got like a narrow, like I'm built. I'm a 6'4" guy that's stretched out to 7 feet. Right. So I've been blessed with that. That's what made me different. So that's what made me so I could do things as an athlete that a lot of the guards and little guys would do.
It's unbelievable. And we were talking earlier before we turned on the camera. So you get to the NBA and you know your journey is really amazing, right? So you played with a lot of people. You played a lot of situations. We talked a little bit about Bernie Bickerstaff, right? Who I don't know, is that your first coach?
First coach
first
ever.
coach.
Man.
So talk to me about Bernie, man. You know.
Bernie was unbelievable, and I didn't know the history of Bernie and how far he had been into the game. But when I got there, he was very transparent as a coach. He'd tell you ain't worth the darn a day. You got to work harder. He embraced our guys like family. He always reminded you, like, we brought you here to play hard, not to do that cute stuff. Like, he was very direct in what you want. And I feel like with all the great coaches, you don't want to disappoint them. Sometimes, I'll be honest, a lot of times it's business. You're going to do a job, this guy says this, do your job, get through it. Right. The great coaches, you don't want to disappoint. You can fast forward to our guys. When they look at Ime, they don't want to disappoint them, dude.
Yeah, right. No way.
It's a genuine relationship there. And with Bernie, that was there. And I think one of the coolest things was JB. He let JB tell the story. JB did my draft workout, JB Bickerstaff. He was coach's son. It was funny. He was 28 years old at the time.
Wow.
That's younger than some of our players.
Yeah.
Okay? And he was coaching. He was doing the draft workout, and he's working me out for the draft. And, I had a good draft workout, and I knew it. And I told my agent, I said, well, if it gets down, Charlotte had a 50. I said, if it gets down to it, I know I'm going to Charlotte, okay?
Right.
If it gets down to it, I'm going to Charlotte. And, I had to play. The ball goes out of bounds, and I was just this crazy, man. I dove out of bounds, through the mats, through some boxes, and fought for the ball. I'm like, they see that's what you want. You got to hustle. You got to do something, pretty crazy. I dunked 50 balls in a row on a Superman drill.
Wow, what's a Superman drill? What is that?
Okay. For those who don't know, when you're training for the draft, you do a lot of crazy stuff you'll probably never ever do again.
Okay.
So they put the ball on the block, 2 balls on both blocks. You go down, you get in the stance, you get low, you get up, and you dunk the ball. You get up and you dunk the ball, right? Boom. You get up and dunk the ball, boom, right. And this is a drill. Rico Hines, who's now coaching, I think, in Philadelphia, right? Yeah, Rico's in Philadelphia. And doing a great job. He's doing great player development, guys. He's trained KD, trained everybody. He blew up, but I was one of his first guys. So we'd always work on that Superman drill. And the Superman drill is unique. So, when you go, it's like, how many times can you dunk off the floor, right? So,
consecutive, you don't get a break?
No, there's no break, Mark. One guy goes 7.
I'm one on the Nerf hoop, and then I was going to sit down and have a Pepsi.
Sit down on there. So the first guy goes like 7 times in the draft workout. Boom, he's done. Oh, wow, 7 times, I'm tired. That was a lot. The second guy probably gets 10. He's screaming. He's out of shape. I dunked 50 in a row, and I wasn't going to stop.
Right.
And our scouts were on the side, and they're watching. And I didn't just dunk them. I tried to kill the hoop. That's how Rico trained me. I was screaming, I'm trying to, I was a crazy man back then.
I love it,
I was a crazy man, right?
I love it.
So I'm trying to rip the rim off, and they said, go until you don't stop.
Right.
And I was going, and it's not normal. The scouts were watching this happen, and I knew Charlotte mindset, they were a hard-working organization. They wanted to see hard work. They wanted to see grit. They want to see someone who's there, and this is rare. The scouts were in the middle of the drill watching, and they said, the scout got up and said, I seen enough. I seen enough. He ain't going to stop. And he screamed out, he said, just get 10 more and you can be done. So I dunked 50 straight, but I would have did another 50. And I didn't just dunk them. I tried to murder the hoop. I tried to bring the backboard down, so. And then the last one, and that's how Rico trained me. He said, when you get the last one, you reverse it. You do something crazy because you want to, in any place, and I love Rico for this, and for those, I think it's just applicable to life. Like you want to over-impress.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You don't, Mark, in life, you don't want to, when you got your opportunity, you did stuff, you weren't just good enough, you were the best.
Yep.
You were unique.
Yep.
There was no question. When you want to get a job, when you want to do something, you have an opportunity, you want to leave no stone unturned. And there's no question of that's our guy.
Yep.
Then sometimes you're going to get stuff you don't deserve. Sometimes you're going to fall into stuff, by God's grace. But like you want in these opportunities, that's the guy.
Yeah.
He's it. It's everything. He's overqualified. So in that situation, for hard work, right?
It's unbelievable.
And that's part of my life. I was overqualified, so I was blessed to have that opportunity. But you don't want to leave that accident there. Or you want to do as best as possible to be and to put yourself in those situations.
Yeah, we were talking again before we went on the air about kids, right? You got kids, so now you're passing on to the next generation. I have 5 kids. You got 4 kids, right? So I heard a line about Michael Bloomberg once said, somebody said to Michael Bloomberg, right, one of the richest men in the world, how do you become successful? He said, be the first guy in the office in the morning and the last guy to leave, right? That's exactly what you're talking about, putting in that extra effort. And like you said, just showing up early and staying late doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get everything, and you're going to get some lucky breaks, you're going to get some unlucky breaks, but if you're constantly exceeding people's expectations, things are going to come to you, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened, right? I mean, how many years did you play in the NBA?
10 years for a guy who was never supposed to be there. The skinny kid from Pasadena who was never supposed to be there, got cut as a freshman, didn't start as a senior, was never supposed to be there. Came to UCLA as a whim because somebody was ineligible or there was a scholarship available. The guy who's never supposed to be there 10 years in the NBA.
That's unbelievable, man. Shout out to you. And when you're saying it, and you got one of your kids here sitting right behind us, and that's the lesson you pass on to your children, right? That's whatever they do, whether it's in sports or whether it's in business or in life, that's sort of the effort and the attitude you should have, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tough, man, for when you try to give it to your kids because they're looking at these nice things.
Right.
It's very hard for them to imagine this place of work, of how hard it has to be. So you're giving them the creativity to imagine like this was a grind, and you just sound like it was hard when I did this, and I had to walk to school and
in the snow uphill both ways,
and I had to write out my own stuff and like ChatGPT, What are you talking about? So yeah, that's the struggle. You know, you're giving them the imagination and you're putting them in a place to try to see the work, because it's just like, why?
Right.
Like, why? We got this.
Right.
Why?
Where'd it come from? Yeah.
Where'd it come from?
Yeah.
And how does it take to get there?
And talk about hard work. Talk to me about some of the guys, and please add in your names, right? But I'm going to ask you about a couple of guys who I know you played with, because I know we're talking about hard workers. Talk to me about KG, right? Talk to me about Kevin Garnett, right?
We wouldn't have enough time on this show to thoroughly talk about him.
But give it a try, man.
No,
talk to me about Kevin Garnett.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
I thought I worked hard.
Right.
Then I saw him, and I realized that I had to change everything that I was doing. And the mental place that he's in, he was light years above everyone else. And if it wasn't for Kevin Garnett, I probably would have been out the NBA the next year.
Wow. Where'd you play with him?
I was in Boston.
In Boston, okay. With Paul Pierce, that's the same?
Paul and Ray and Rondo and B. Bass and Doc and Ty Lue, all those guys. So I was privileged to be there. But Kevin, if it's shoot around, we're just getting up shots, right? Getting loose, it's too early in the morning. Kevin, before practice, was in a game sweat.
Wow.
Drenched. Kevin believes in the integrity of the game. There's a passion that he has that was unparalleled and put into proper places. It's almost like you ever had an argument with somebody, a family member, or son, and said, "Oh man, you're fighting the wrong person. We fighting each other rather than what I'm saying?" Like, so Kevin channeled that pent up emotion and all these things to the proper places. Right. So when he was taking shots, I'm coming in the gym. He's in a full game sweat.
In practice.
Shooting the same shots. We ain't even practicing. What are you talking about? We ain't practicing. And he's shooting the same shot. We're walking through shoot around, and I've never seen a player take command of a shoot around. I've never seen a player embrace something to get to from a practice place to a game place. Because sometimes when you practice, it's not at a game pace. You get in the game, you're like, what is this? It's a whole different thing. Right. And him and Rondo and these guys would communicate and walk through like what was really gonna happen. Because we would you go through the drill, the guy sets the screen, the guy goes, you help him, blah, blah, blah. You know, in the game, it don't be nothing like that. That guy's lightning fast. Right. He's super high. And what happens, hey, if I'm stuck in a situation. So they would talk through, and the most one of the biggest powerful things that Kevin taught me was to visualize these spaces that you're gonna be in. Wow. The visualization. So he'd be talking and he would command the shoot around from Doc. And It'd be like, all right, though, when he's stuck and he's behind, what are we gonna do? Are you gonna be there? P, you gotta be in the corner. Ray, you gotta sit there and help.
Wow.
We would walk through and talk through these situations so we knew you gotta be late because that's Pau Gasol rolling. That's, one of these guys. Hey, I'm stuck here on LeBron. When I'm here on LeBron, load up. Where's my help at?
Wow.
And then Rondo or somebody, Ray, be like, all right, we'll send it to the baseline. Well, if we don't send it to the baseline, well, who's this on the baseline? You got Haslam. Boom, boom, boom. You got these guys. So we would talk through these scenarios of and Mark, I've never seen this anywhere of what was really going to happen. I've never seen players take command. Like Kevin would give the energy into the he was the confidence he would give you. Man, I remember walking in after a game. We played Atlanta. I'll never forget it. We played Atlanta because we targeted the Hawks in that series. They had Bibby, Joe Johnson, and Horford and those guys, and they were the 2 seed. They had a heck of a year.
Yeah, Joe Johnson could shoot the lights out. Mike
Joe's one of the best.
Unbelievable shooter.
And we saw a flaw in them, and we targeted them, so we kind of like threw some games at the end of the season to get the 7 seed.
Whoa.
To make sure we matched up with them. And I remember going into this series,
that's
this
wild.
is hilarious.
That's wild. Wait. Just go back 10 seconds. You made sure that you matched up with them because they were going to be the 2 seed, and you wanted to see them.
Yeah, so we threw games.
I love it, man.
We threw games to be that seed. The NBA was different then, man. The NBA was you do that now with the competition, you might be out the playoffs or something, right?
Just between me and you, Adam Silver's not 10.
Well, no, there was space between teams, so you would get solidified in your seed at a certain point. So you knew you could kind of waver. Now with the play-in, it's so much more competitive as a bunch of teams. So you're log jammed. It's pretty hard to do that. And those last seeds, when teams knew they were out the playoffs, they'd be like, "Man, we're good, bro."
Yeah, right.
Now that teams are fighting for that play-in, it makes it a lot harder. Totally. So all the analysts and the talking heads, Kevin Garnett's done. He's 37 years old. He ain't got to know more. Blah blah blah. We win a big game. He drops like 35 against the Hawks. And I remember me and Greg Steesman, we walked into the locker room. We walked in the locker room and KG's standing there, and he's just standing there, and it's this ball of emotions, and he's just in this zone, Mark. And he had after the game, he had goosebumps. Wow. Shooting through it. Literal, we saw goosebumps shooting his arm. And he was just locked in. We've never seen someone embrace. I've never seen someone anywhere, when I say embrace, when they talk like intensity, when we talk eat and sleep and breathe it, we talk about levels to this. There are levels to this. And when you see KG on his podcast, you get a piece of like, hey, that guy's intense.
Like that fire.
This is real. That's toned down. But it was everything. We went on to win, and we lost to Miami. But like the passion he had, and then he would give you the how to do it. Come here, youngin', come here, young. And he was bought in, and he's such an unbelievable teacher. Wow. Anyone who gets a chance to work with him embrace those moments. But I had him as a teammate, and hey, you do this, and I would just try to soak up stuff. He taught me so much stuff. He said, listen. Look, youngin', he said, when it comes to this NBA thing, you're approaching it wrong. He told me, he said, half the dudes in the league, you can beat them off hard work.
Wow.
No skill.
Wow.
No skill.
Wow.
You can beat these guys off hard work.
That's amazing.
No skill.
Wow.
Can't shoot. Can't whatever. You can outwork half the league.
Wow.
He said, the other half of the league, now you got to use your brain. Right. So if it's a bigger guy, what you doing? I'm beating him with my speed.
Right.
If it's a smaller guy, I'm shooting over him.
Right.
I'm shooting over him. I'm doing these things. And if the guy's just better than me, I got to take this.
Wow.
I remember we were playing, I think Kevin was in Minnesota one time, and K-Love, because KG wanted your soul. Okay. And KG walked, and the ball's not even in bounds, dude. And I love Kevin, man. Kevin was probably like, what the heck is going on?
Wait, which Kevin you talking about? Love
Kevin Love.
Right?
Kevin Love. And KG goes over to K-Love, and the ball's not in bounds on the other side. He just goes nose to nose with Kevin. and he's staring at Kevin. And he's nose to nose with him, and he's just in his jersey staring. He's not saying anything, he's not nothing, and he's just staring at him.
Wow.
And because it's respect. K-Love is a bad boy, man, and he's going, I want this from Kevin Love.
Wow.
You're not getting your numbers tonight. I'm stingy. I want every piece of you, Mark. I want this. So he talked about the approach that he had to the game, the way he embraced it, the way he knew it was going to happen. He knew it was going to happen before it happened. Wow. So imagine stepping into a meet. You know they're giving you the job. Right. You know you're going to solidify. He would embrace these things. Meditating before the games, peace, or we see wildness. I remember, I'll give you this too. One time, right? I told you I could talk about KG I could give a whole.
Let's go, man. Don't stop.
So you watched the game before, and I don't know if you've seen his story. Like before the game, he dapped people, and he took our pregame thing. He took just as serious as the game.
Wow.
The same person would be in the same line.
Right.
The ball would come out the net a certain way. He'd get the ball out the net. He'd throw it to the next guy for layup lines. Right. And if you didn't do that, he would throw it to you again. And he would be kind the first time. We had something we did like clockwork.
And he wanted it done the right way.
All the way down to the way the ball comes out the hoop and who comes out and how your hand shaking. It was like clockwork. Wow. If you walked in the locker room joking before the game was going on, he'd give Mark, he'd give you a grunt first. He'd give you a grunt first.
Right.
And if you didn't catch on, he's cussing you clean out. Because
really?
It was game day. So we knew to come in, tickets locked in, shut up, get focused. If you ain't focused, like, and I never had game focus until the game.
Right.
All right? Like, wait for the game.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, we were game ready at 10 a.m.
That's unbelievable, man.
Full sweat.
Yeah. One of one? Is KG one of one like that? Or
Yeah, brother. Yeah, the greatest teammate of all time. Probably one of the greatest all-around player we've ever seen as far as everything. You know, 7-footer could do anything. But back to what I was saying. So he goes in, he daps up, he does the thing, he hits his head against the backstop, right? He goes to the fans in Boston and he does this thing and the fans go crazy after he hits the backstop, right? So you're like, crazy's a psycho. What? He's a psycho. So I go to Kev and I was like, because I was an emotional player also. And I said, Kev, how do you maintain the emotions the whole time? You know, I dip after I'm excited. Like, I dip. You said, youngin, what are you talking about? He said, I said, you hit your head on the backstop before the games and all this, and at the end of the game, you're still doing it, right? He said, youngin, I'm just walking through the process. He said, I'm meditating and I'm calm with everything that I'm doing, and I'm visualizing and I'm seeing what I have to do before I do it. He said, do me a favor. When we're in a timeout, watch me. Watch me before the games. Watch me as coach is talking. The coach be talking before the game. I was saying, you know, giving us a speech. Kevin's over there meditating and visualizing what he needs to do.
Wow.
Kevin will be on the bench. Doc will be talking, we doing things. He be body up, good posture, relaxed face. He be breathing and meditating through the stuff he's supposed to do. So he was like, I'm calm. I'm just executing the game plan and I'm seeing it.
Wow.
So I'm mentally at peace with myself before I go execute these things, and these are a part, all of these things are a part of the process. So then I start watching him. He's calm as can be. He'd be on the bench, you know, meditating, visualizing, seeing it. It was a game plan that was to be executed. And he came in with a game plan on how he was going to do something. He knew if you were too good, he needed your mind.
Right.
He knew if you were okay, I could outwork you. If you were bigger, I'm faster. If you were faster, I'm going to be taller.
Wow. Would you say he's the best guy you ever played with or against? Or I mean, obviously you played, I mean, with LeBron and some, you know.
Played against? I mean, LeBron and Kobe are the best I played against. I never played against Mike. LeBron and Kobe,
right.
As far as playing against. Played with, I was blessed, man. I had KG. I had KG and Dirk got to be the top of my list. Wow. Played with Chris Paul, Rondo, John Wall, Brad Bill, Blake Griffin, Vince Carter.
Wow. Talk about a guy who could fly.
Oh my God, Vince was still athletic. He had a 37.5-inch vertical at like 38 years old.
It's incredible.
Yeah, like, and then his work ethic was crazy. But I will say the one, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, the parallel that I saw with Kyrie Irving, right, with all the great players, was the extra work they put in, the human beings they were, and the humility.
Wow.
The difference between an all-star and a Hall of Famer is their humility and their respect for the game.
Wow. That's amazing.
Their humility and their respect for the game and the way that they value life and people. The Hall of Famer, that's the difference between the all-star and the Hall of Famer. The Hall of Famer respects the game and people and life. And he is all things to all people.
That's unbelievable.
He's a better person than they were players. Dirk Nowitzki drove to work in the stupid car that they gave him from the dealership,
right,
and wore the same pants and didn't care about anything. And when Dirk would we'd go on the road, He took out the equipment man. He took out the manager. Wow. He took out the rookies. Wow. He took out the ball boy. He took out the media guys. Anybody a part of that family, Dirk took care of.
Wow. Wow.
And when this is what blew my mind with both those guys, right? I'll give you this. When I got to Dallas, Dirk remembered every possession that he ever had against me.
Wow. Whoa.
And he had a respect for my game.
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, I'm nobody. And he said, I remember you did this against me, and you did this against me, you did that against me. And that sucker was petty. They're petty. Right. And I remember you did this. And a part of probably even the stamp for me to be able to play is like, or go there is like, I respect that guy. He brought something to the table. Wow. I'll take him on my team.
Wow.
I see his craft. And I'm like, I'm nobody, bro. I'm a Charlotte Bobcat at the time. I might have had, 100 minutes total on the season. And he's like, nah, that kid, yeah. The respect he had. And KG, I remember we played, you did X, Y, and Z. We worked out together in the UCLA men's gym. I remember in the men's gym, you did this. And you know what's crazy, man? Wild story. I remember I was so excited. KG was on my wall. And I remember, no lie. So KG comes to the gym the first time. I'm excited. I think I played well that day. I had a fast break windmill dunk. I'm still young and raw, but I remember showing up, and I remember after the workout. I don't know if I ever told this to anybody. KG, and what's wild is, I remember afterwards I went into KG's bag. I'm like, man, give me some shoes. He's your college kid. You're young and dumb, bro. I'm like, KG, give me your shoes. Give me some socks. Give me anything. And he was like, you're younger, but you didn't get it. But older, you get it now. You look back. He said, younger, you're gonna get caught on suspicion messing with me, something like that. Right? And I was like offended by that, right? As a kid, and I was like, I can't stand this guy. But I look back and I realized, he was like, y'all can't have improper benefits. Right. I'm not giving you a damn thing. You got to earn your way because I would hinder you.
Right.
Years later, Mark.
Yeah.
Years later. KG apologized to me for that.
He apologized to you for that?
I don't know why.
He remembered it?
He remembered it. Why did he remember me?
Wow.
Why did he remember that?
Wow.
He was looking out for me.
Yeah.
But when I played him, the first time I tried to, because I wanted to be him. I wanted to be him. And he knew. So like KD,
right. KD
knows, very similar stories. KD knows when these kids play him, right. They want to beat KD.
Yeah. Yeah. Anthony Edwards talked about it, right?
I want to be Kevin Durant. So he knows his value to the game. Kevin Garnett knew I wanted to be him. He knew I looked up to him. He knew I wanted his soul. I wanted to kill him when I played against him. I got like an idiot, right? I went nose to nose with him. I was grabbing him and holding him when we played, right? But there's levels to this and there's respect to the game. And it was wild. He remembered that. So we talk about the Hall of Famers, that they're petty, they remember little things, and they have respect for the little people, so-called.
Right.
They had the biggest respect, and they remember all those little things. And it's like it's a humble confidence and respect when talking Hall of Famers. The difference between an All-Star and a Hall of Famer. There's a difference.
Is that respect for people and respect for the game? And Kobe, and you say Kobe and LeBron on pure talent, they were just at another level? Why do you say they were the two best you've ever played against? Or,
For Kobe didn't have an off switch. Kobe didn't appreciate the game until he did the farewell tour.
Wow.
And a lot of players are trying to do a farewell tour with all due respect, but they hadn't put in the work. Not that they haven't had a massive careers, right. Not that they haven't had it, but Kobe had, for me, this is my opinion, right. Is an idiot, right? Whatever you want to call it, right? Is an idiot, right? This is my opinion, right? Doesn't have to be right. Kobe had blinders on. He was so locked in on 4 a.m. workouts, the obsession, the craziness that goes into the work ethic of the game of being Kobe Bryant. That when he had his farewell tour, and whatever came to him and said was enough, he took his blinders off finally.
Wow.
And the farewell tour is like, you have been psychotic And now you're going to accept and receive your flowers.
Wow.
Because Kobe, we talk about aura. You want to know what aura is? A week in advance, a month in advance before Kobe Bryant came into town when he was Kobe Bryant, you felt it.
Wow.
You remember.
Yeah.
You were trying to get tickets to the game.
Yep. Yes.
You could feel the build-up.
Yep.
And if you ever went to a game and you shot around before the game, you saw Kobe Bryant, prime Kobe Bryant come out, and I assume similar for Michael Jordan. I didn't play against Michael. You felt the aura and the energy move around the arena. When Kobe Bryant walked in, all eyes turned. You ever seen somebody come in the arena? I don't know if I've seen it since him.
Yeah.
And maybe LeBron might be. Right. And all eyes, Steph Curry, got and all eyes turned, and people would follow him. As these people in their seats would kind of try to get close to him, and and the seats are tough to navigate. Before the game, you can kind of move around before and they're there. They're there early, and they're watching him, and you felt it. I'm warming up on the other side. What the heck is going on?
What's all that?
Who's out here, right? It's the energy that he had. It was he mentally wanted to take you. He didn't respect, he wanted to kill everyone.
Wow.
And he wanted you here. The greats want this. They want this from you. So when he talk about respect, he's already known everything about everybody before he steps in, and he wants to kill you. It's a respect for the game that set the table and the standard of greatness and hard work and everything that is unparalleled by Kobe Bryant. So when he had his farewell tour, those blinders came off, and he taught a young generation of what it looks like.
Wow.
What it looks like. Y'all not serious. I biked 15 miles before we practiced.
Amazing.
I already did this. There's levels to this. I'm obsessed with this. Are you obsessed with your work? Do you want to be obsessed with your work? Because family going to take a back seat. Or hey, I'm obsessed with my family, and I'm obsessed with my work. And when I'm talking to it, I'm giving 100% to what I'm doing. B was different. Talking about racing to the car lines to be the first parent in line. You psycho. We sat in car lines to pick your kids up. He wants to be first. He's battling with the soccer mom. I'm the better parent here. Let me start my workout at 3:30 so I could be here in the line first. It's crazy. The inspiration, the greatness behind Kobe, it was there. So like I said, when he took his farewell tour. So fun story. I grew up Kobe fan. Because 98, I was in 8th grade. We're the young guy. You relate with the rookies, how we relate with guys, right? I remember I stood in line for a Kobe Bryant ball for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
At the Glendale Galleria, around the block for 3.5 hours. And I remember when we got there, he just left. And my dad bought me a Kobe Bryant ball. Still got it to this day. Took $800 and bought a Kobe Bryant ball.
Wow.
That was a lot of money then.
A lot of money.
That Kobe Bryant, we'd be pretty darn good now.
Wow.
And he got me a Kobe Bryant ball. So when I say I watched every game, I was obsessed with the guy because you loved him, it was, we grew up with him, and funny story, so I'm on the Wizards, right? And my last year, great, right? I think my last year in the league, Kobe's last year, apparently. That's how great he was, right?
Wow.
These levels, right? Wow. My last year and his last year, probably the same years.
Wow.
And I remember I was in the game, and he's in the game, man, and we're in D.C. The farewell tour gets announced. All of a sudden, the game is sold out.
Right.
And we're in D.C., and Kobe's body's hurt, man. He ain't quite there. And it's crazy the respect for the game that he had. Because when you're really great, they respect you in other cities.
Yeah.
In Miami, they hang Michael Jordan's retirement because he's Michael Jordan. That's the respect he has. That's levels, okay, because of what Michael did and is to the game. And for Kobe, right, I'm screaming out his moves. So we're playing, right? Let me backtrack. We're playing, and he ain't got it today. Right. And every time he touched the ball, DC, Kobe. Wow. Every time he took a shot, they're living and dying on every move. Wow. So we're like, damn, we're the Wizards, right? And we're winning the game, right? So all of a sudden, man, that sucker starts feeling the energy from the crowd. He shoots himself into the game, right? And he starts getting hot, and he starts hitting shots, and he ain't have it that day.
Right.
His body didn't have it that day. So he gets hot. So I get in the game, right? And I'm playing, and Garrett Temple's guarding him. And I'm telling Garrett Temple, because I know me some Kobe. And I start screaming out, he's going right. He's going right. Shot fake, stay down. 3 shot fake, stay down. Then contest big. And every time he gets the ball, I'm screaming his moves out. Baseline turn fade. Baseline turn fade. Watch his eyebrows on the fake. I'm screaming his moves out, right? So it's funny, one of the coolest moments in my life. I'm screaming all this stuff out, and like he's still busting up Garrett Temple, but he's hesitating because he's like, dang, the guy is telling me what I'm going to do before he knew. And crazy moment, man. After the game, Kobe beeline for me. He came over and he tapped me on the chest and he goes, you knew all my moves, didn't you? You screamed all my moves. And my family back home, you know, they're watching the game or whatever, and they saw like videoed or whatever, Kobe telling me that I knew his moves.
Wow.
Like he had his respect for the game and the detail that he had is he respect other people who had the same thing. So as a player, for me, it seems like peanuts, but one of my coolest things, and I think into his mind of having respect for someone that knew those things, that knew that space.
That's unbelievable, man. I don't know how we segue from that to Steph, but I want to ask you about Steph because that same feeling in the arena, and now let's talk about the Houston arena, right? Because that's where I go, right? When Steph walks in, when Steph comes in for warm-up, everybody in the crowd, every eye follows him everywhere he goes. And the same way, right? You know, now Golden State and Houston have got a nice little rivalry going, right? They took us in 7. But there's a feeling and a vibe, even in our arena, right, at Houston, that people hang on everything that Steph does. And when he hits a shot, the place just explodes. Or when he misses, there's an ooh and an ah. I mean, what is it about Steph that's so unique that he brings to the game and that he brings to the court?
The sucker knows he's the show, doesn't he? He knows he's the show.
Yeah.
He walks in and they embrace it. Kevin and Steph are the only 2 players that I can think of vividly that everybody records their shoot around.
Yeah.
Like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
People record them shooting around. You probably even brought out your phone, like, you know, it's like, you record it.
Of course I did.
Like, look at this. He's doing set shots from half court. So for Steph, what's special with him, and for me playing against Steph, he was a young guy. Right. And he wasn't, with all the respect, he wasn't great when he came in the league. Right. He was good, he could shoot, there were more question marks than answers, but he worked to greatness. And one thing that I know that people would say about him is like, he's special. And we didn't know how special, they're like, he's special. I played with Ronnie Turioff, and Ronnie, every day, Rooney would go, Steph Curry, he's special, brother, he's special. He knew Steph was special. And when we first played Steph was great going left. Right. So when he's going left, he could shoot that thing from half court out the bounce, right? You're going left, dang, you let him go left, dang, he got left, he got off. So we forced him to his right hand, so he had to finish at the rim. Right. He wasn't a great finisher. You're finishing over 7-foot guys. Right. Don't watch Steph, watch his work ethic. He went and played USA basketball, and I swear to God, he became just as good going right as he was going left. Because our scouting report has some effectiveness sending him to his right every pick and roll, even if it's on the opposite side. We send him back to that hand to keep him from going left. He became just as good going right as he went going left. And then he became just as good when the scouting report literally shuffled him to the basket at shooting floaters. Oh my God. And finishing at the rim. And we talk about great players. Great players have gravity. Right. You have to, it took the league a long time to catch up, and we still, in some sense, haven't caught up.
Okay. He's a great finisher now.
Players have gravity. You're going to see some of the most unorthodox defenses thrown at Steph Curry. They played a box and one. A A boxing one is a high school defense for a Division I player or a stud.
Right.
A boxing one was played in the NBA Finals. That's how much gravity he has. Wow. I've never, it's just unorthodox. And when he first started doing it, we didn't know how to play against it. Every team that you had, we would change the lineups, and those centers are playing tonight. We're playing all guards to match up. Right. We're going small. We're trying to switch. You're trying to run him off the line. You try to post him up to take his legs away. There's such a gravity and an energy with Steph that's wild. And it's funny, man. So my first years in Charlotte, our broadcaster, right, who's in the seat that I am, a guy I looked up to, is who? You remember? Dell Curry.
Yeah, Steph's dad.
Dell Curry would bring his little son to the gym, man.
My God.
Bring his little son to the gym, and I remember we'd be in the training room, and this little guy was sitting in the training room. Wouldn't say nothing to nobody, not a peep.
Really?
It was Steph.
Wow.
Didn't say nothing to nobody, just sit there.
Wow.
And I remember it was funny, Dale would be like, oh man, my son don't play a lot of defense. I don't know if he's gonna have it. We're working with him.
Wow.
You know, hey, he's trying hard. I remember going up to Dale like later and going like, hey Dale, it worked out for him, didn't it? But you didn't know. The way he changed the game, he broke every rule. You couldn't win with three-pointers.
Right.
You had to play defense, and Steph is a heck of a better defender than he was at the beginning, but physically he wasn't equipped to play defense. He put in work in the weight room.
Got bigger.
He's an intelligent defender, all these things. He's smart. When you look at these Hall of Famers and these greats, it's the work ethic that they put in. And Steph is unbelievable, bro. I had my nephew before the game, came down, and he loves him some Steph. Steph went out of his way, beeline, and shook my nephew's hand.
It's amazing.
Like nobody's around, bro.
Right.
No, Mark, when I say no, like nobody's around. These guys are thorough men, thorough human beings.
It's amazing.
And you don't see 99% of the stuff that they do.
And the one guy, and you mentioned him, another one, right, who obviously has another level, LeBron. What does LeBron, what does LeBron have? Is it skill? Is it the mental aspect? Is it the respect for the game? Is it the work ethic, or it's all the above?
LeBron's petty.
Hey.
Greatness comes with petty. They don't forget nothing.
Yeah.
And LeBron is unique. And the reason that we dock LeBron in the GOAT debate is because he doesn't do it the way we see greatness.
What do you mean?
When I think of great, I think of Michael Jordan.
Cool.
Competitive nature, rip your throat out, unapologetic. He gonna play till his knees fall off.
Right.
Michael Jordan is last year. Brendan Haywood told me he played with Michael Jordan. He would get his knees would puff up like a bowling ball.
Whoa.
Like a softball, bro.
Right.
They had to train his knees after every game.
Wow.
Mike played till he had nothing left. Wow. Kobe, right shoulder injury, left shoulder surgery, right knee, left knee. If you put up the view of all the surgeries and the work that Kobe's had, he had Achilles, back from Achilles.
Right.
It was crazy. That's greatness to us. Kobe showed us Michael.
Right.
Kobe mirrored Michael,
right.
And we saw a killer in Kobe that LeBron is not. We saw a killer in Michael, with all due respect, that LeBron is not.
Interesting.
But LeBron is a different type of killer. LeBron has the ability to turn it on and off. Wow. Kobe wasn't gonna turn it off, and some of us, per your liking, respect that or that. But make no mistake, LeBron is a killer. Mark, I'm sure you've seen it. Like, LeBron ain't got it today.
All right.
Kobe, if he was down 20 points, he could go on a 20-0 run.
Right.
Michael could be down 8. He's going to do that. We've seen LeBron. He ain't got it today. Catch me in the playoffs. You won the battle, not the war, though. Michael and Kobe wanted the battle and the war. So for LeBron, he can hit those places which is not natural for guys to be able to do. And he's shown us a vision of himself that people don't appreciate. Because he gives you what we wanted from Kobe while playing and doing it,
right.
and we wanted from Michael. Michael didn't give us that access.
Right.
Kobe didn't give us that access. LeBron gives us access, and it opens him up and makes him vulnerable. And he does not do it the way that we grew up and that we saw what it should look like. He does it his way. But make no mistake, like I said, he can turn on. When we played him in the playoffs, we knew that they were more talented with the Heat, and we knew in our hearts that when it got tight, he wasn't going to have it.
Wow.
And we were going to talk crazy to him and hit him and bump him, and we were going to execute because we had it here. And when I say we, Ray, who's big, one of the greatest shooters to ever touch this earth, Paul, who could score it and we knew could bring it home. If I got one-on-one, I'm taking Paul Pierce.
Wow.
And KG, who's going to make it happen, right, and lead and talk and command the defense and all these things. We knew those guys were going to do it. And LeBron's greatest feat outside of probably the championship in Cleveland when he was down was knocking the Celtics out the playoffs down 3-2. That game that he had showed us, like, and I remember KG, Paul came in the locker room afterwards and like, yo, we ain't have it. He's one of the greatest to ever do it.
Wow.
That was their mindset. That's what they said, like, give him respect. Like, dang, like, damn.
Wow.
Like, it wasn't like, they got us. Oh, we messed up. Oh, we missed a shot or two. It was like, he better. He got it.
Wow.
He got it. He got it. I just think, again, it's your own cup of tea. It's different the way that he's gone about it. And LeBron will save his body and save himself to fight again another day. Wow. But he's as obsessive and as crazy as all of them. He just does it. He does it different. He does it different. He doesn't do it the way that Michael and Kobe did it. He does it different. And he's going to be truly appreciated when he's gone. But what he's done, it's nothing short of like, it's like phenomenal, you know. And he's a unique player, because for a guy who can't score, he sure as heck has scored a lot, right? And for a guy who didn't have things, and he's worked. And LeBron couldn't shoot. He was a very streaky shooter. We would live with his shooting early in his career. He became a great shooter. You know, we say he don't have no post moves. You don't worry, you can put a small guy on him because he don't know how to post him up. He can learn post moves, spin off, turn, fade, all those things. So like he's a worker, man. He's obsessive about it. He's obsessive about it.
It's amazing. And as you watch, you know, this next sort of, you know, crop of young guys, you know, and you have a unique perspective, right? You know, you're at 80 games, 90 games, 100 games, whatever it is, if we get deep into the playoffs. The way you're talking about a Kobe and a Michael and Dirk and LeBron, are there some young guys in the league now that you look at and say, wow, this guy's doing things, or if he continues on this path, we're going to be talking about him the same way 10, 15 years from now?
If you could get somebody to mentor Anthony Edwards and give him like this,
right,
all-encompassing,
yeah,
he's got that type of talent because he's crazy. We know he's crazy in a good way, right? He got that crazy obsession to show him that could be there. I'm still intrigued so much with Jabari.
Yeah, I love Jabari.
Because he's crazy, and he's obsessed with it, and he loves it, and he eats, sleeps, and breathes it. Him, Amin, or Alp, those three, we got a lot of special, but those three, like, they intrigue me because they get to learn it from Kevin. I don't know where it's going to go with our guys. Who else is out there? Kyrie's a different one. I played one. Kyrie's an alien, bro. Like, Kyrie's, he's different. He's the stuff. He's on a different wavelength when he plays, but Kyrie's probably on the other side. Let me think. Young guys in the league. I really wish that Zion and Ja could be in different situations, not on different teams, because I think they have great situations in New Orleans and Memphis, but like, they're intriguing with their talent, and I think you have to look to and appreciate that, like, bro, it ain't for everybody.
Right.
I remember Catino Mobley, we used to work out in the summers, and he said one time, like, how great do you want to be? Because he was like, when I locked in and started growing in certain spaces, former Rocket, he was like, I wasn't a good person. I didn't know how to do the family thing and that thing, with all due respect, Cat, but he was like, I kind of chose my family a little more. Like, it's tough. Like, where do you want to take this thing? And I think I admire Kobe even more that he took his obsession on the court and gave it to his family too.
Right.
That's very hard to do, but like, who wants to be obsessed about it? Who wants to like no phone, no social media, no friends? Right. Who wants to be obsessed about it? Who wants to be petty enough to watch film of the 10th guy on the roster having success against you?
It's amazing.
Who wants to be obsessively petty about this? Who wants that? No friends. Kobe didn't have friends. It was minimal.
Right.
If he saw something in you, he was cool. You could hang out and kind of like he'd take another loner with him, right, and it worked. Like, who wants that? That's a unique place. So I see flashes in guys. I see talent, but the obsession. With all due respect, I can't say it's right there or not there. In some of these situations, some guys have it, like Brunson, probably obsessive, crazy, but there's only so much he can do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, those guys we're speaking of, outside of Curry, right, and Curry's an alien because we can't teach the hand-eye coordination like that. Mark, he's shooting swishes.
Yeah,
he ain't shooting. Steph ain't shooting makes. He's shooting swishes. Man, you were just trying to make the shot. He's like, I didn't swish it. It didn't count. Kevin Durant is one of those guys in every sense of the way. Every sense of the way. Kevin Durant, when you watch, I want you to pay attention to this. Watch a mistake made by Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Watch when he makes a mistake or maybe a game isn't perfect. Watch the second time around if that happens again.
He corrects it?
Oh, God. He works. He's obsessive. He's petty. Don't forget, those guys, his greatness is different. I'm going to have my weaknesses. My weaknesses through my career were the same weaknesses. They didn't become strengths, okay? We just did other things. But those guys, it's different. So the challenge is like, where do you want to take it? Wemby excites me.
Yeah, talk to me about Wemby, man. I mean,
Sean Elliott told me when we played there. Great Sean Elliott, man. Grew up. Sean Elliott was on my wall growing up. I just certain players, man. One of those guys. Sean was one of those guys, man. He said every time I've seen him play, he's done something I've never seen him done in a game of basketball.
Wow, and Sean's been around. Sean's done some things, and wow.
It's things I've never seen. And Wemby's like reading books. He's crazy. Like when I saw Wemby ask KG for mentorship, I said, oh, man. Wow. He got in the gym with KG. I said, it might be over now. And he's the guy out of all of them, maybe the answer, that I would give the torch to because it's here. He's crazy. They're doing the right things because when you're a big guy, it's the joints. Right. It's the foot. It's those things they work on. Like you see him, like he's bear crawling before the games.
Yeah.
He's got a guy running with them, working on slides and lateral movement. He's working on a lot of things that we would deem stupid or irrelevant as a player. Why am I doing these little things? And he's embracing those little things, and I think his health. And I think I love the way they're adding strength to him because you could put 50 pounds on Wemby. He wouldn't be Wemby, though.
Right.
If you get him stronger, you get his core and movement. I want mobile strength. Right. They're doing the things the right way. He's got his people. He's working. I think a lot of the question marks we have when we're being answered, is he going to be mean enough? Is he going to be able to fight? He's going to get it to the hole. You know, I think that's why everybody went crazy when he spun off. He got in Draymond's face. He spun off. He dunked him. He got back in his face. You know, Draymond's supposed to be the mental guy of the league, the madman. You know, the guy who wants your. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I ain't soft, big fella. Yeah. What's up? Like, and even Draymond had to give him his flowers. Draymond is a throwback. Draymond has respect and understands the game on those wavelengths. But for him to do that, it showed. It showed. Yeah, I would probably trust it with young fella, barring everything, and hopefully we could see the peak of him of what it becomes.
That's amazing. Dude, this was so much fun. I really enjoyed it, and I can, like you said, we could have talked for KG for a couple hours, but I'm not going to make you sit here all day. You got your daughter here. You got things to do. You're going on the road. I can't thank you enough. We should do it again. I loved it.
You let me know, man.
It was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I'm serious. Anytime you let me know. We appreciate you. You know, it's a big family here, and I love that you're looking to connect to the fans, because these are the stories and these are the parts of the game that, like, the appreciation that I believe should be shown to these guys. And it's work for us. We eat, sleep, and we breathe it, and we're serious about it. We have the same commitment. Shoot, we're trying to turn it off how much we love the team and the things going on. But I appreciate you, man. Keep this up. You got a cool setup here. It shows that you're sleeping. You're crazy.
I'm right there with you, dude.
You're crazy, petty, maniac trying to do this too. So
that's exactly right, brother.
You fit in with the club, man.
Thank you, man. You know, I'm doing it just hype, but yeah, I'm just as crazy as you guys are, trying to do my part, man.
And I think this is big too, Mark. I want to say this about you. When I would do my kids' camps, and we talk about dreams and goals and growing up, I was blessed. 7 feet with a 40-inch vertical, brother. I was blessed. But when I challenge my kids, I let them know you can make it to the NBA in different ways. Mark, you made it to the NBA. Wow. You're here.
That's nice.
And we dream of, I don't know if your dreams with the NBA, son, but you can make it to the NBA in different ways. So you commit yourself, you work, and it doesn't just have to be in the NBA. You have a passion. Maybe you physically can't do those things, but you're just as important. You're just as meaningful. You're just as a part of it. So this is instrumental for our guys, for myself, but everybody has their own dreams and goals, bro. And you have achieved that, and it's a set, because kids can't look up to me in a certain way. I like Ryan Hollins. I like KD. I might not be KD, right? I might not be those guys. But there's a unique way that we all play a part in this history being developed. So appreciate you, brother.
That's really kind of you, man. I appreciate it, dude. Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man. Thanks for watching this week's episode. Like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.